President Trump, the Qatar airplane, and the Bible. Now, why look at this from the perspective of the Bible? Because the Bible is good. God's word is good for teaching, instruction, and rebuke across the board. And I've been thinking about this in a real worldly sense. In fact, I've been using my own wisdom to think through this. And I felt uneasy about it. Every time I tried to make an argument for this, I felt uneasy, starting with the fact that it's ABC News that broke this story. So, of course, I believe ABC News is lying because it has to do with President Trump, and ABC News hates President Trump. This was the headline I first saw. Trump administration poised to accept Palace in the Sky as a gift for Trump from Qatar. Sources. Luxury jumbo jet is to be used as Air Force One. Sources told ABC News. Jonathan Karl and Catherine Falder. So right there I know those are two people who loathe President Trump. And then Trump poised to accept as a gift to Trump? No way. The second I read that, I said, no, it's not going to be for Donald Trump. It might be for the White House. President Trump says it's for the Department of Defense. So right away, of course, I'm suspect of the story. So because he's my guy, I want to defend him. Even though I don't agree with everything he does, I don't agree with everything he says. I want to defend him, and also because ABC is an enemy. And I fail to pray for him. So there you go. Big, huge forest of logs in my eye. Some notes from their Twitter story. Breaking Qatar to gift $400 million plane to President Trump. Lie. According to ABC News, the Trump administration is set to accept a luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet valued around $400 million from the Qatari royal family. The plane will serve as Air Force One for Trump until just before he leaves office, after which ownership will transfer to his Presidential Library Foundation. Sources say this may be the most valuable gift ever given to the U.S. by a foreign government. Fox News host and part-time Attorney General Pam Bondi said Trump's White House lawyers David Warrington concluded the arrangement is legally permissible. And Bondi, who, by the way, in addition to being a lawyer for Pfizer, was also a registered agent for Qatar, provided the legal memo approving the deal. So I wanted to defend it. President Trump did a pretty good job of defending it. So the fact that the Defense Department is getting a gift free of charge of a 747 aircraft to replace the 40-year-old Air Force One temporarily in very public and transparent transactions so bothers the crooked Democrats, they insist we pay top dollar for the plane. Anybody can do that. The Dems are world-class losers. MAGA, make America great again. I want to defend it. Boeing can't seem to produce an airplane because they're busy defending DEI. And of course, they're absolutely not unaliving people who have been whistleblowers against them. That's never happened. But they can't seem to get Air Force One delivered. So I want to defend it. So why do I continue to feel uneasy? I mean, we could use all sorts of debate techniques on this. We could point to Joe Biden. This isn't going to Trump personally. What about the $50 million for Joe Biden? What about Barack Obama becoming a billionaire after he left office because he's an experienced film director? What about William Jefferson Blythe Clinton III and the Clinton Foundation and Chelsea getting her wedding paid for and her townhouse? And we can do all of that. And it's all correct. It's all a great comparison. Why did I feel uneasy? I took a break between recording segments. I sat down. God spoke into my heart. Stop thinking for yourself. Think about me. And I explain what God said to me here in just a second after I let my mind relax and God enter into my mind. God is the author of all things. He's the author of your mind. He's the author of the pains we have. I mean, he allows it. I mean, God probably didn't tell me when I was 13 years old that it'd be a super good idea to jump off of a 3-story house onto 3 mattresses. I don't think God said that. I don't think God said, hey, you know what, as an old dude, why don't you try to bench press 400 pounds and not get bone spurs in your shoulder? Why don't you do that? I don't think God said that. There's a lot of things I decided to do contrary to God's word, and I pay the price. Right? But I pay the price for being active. If you are an active person and that activity is starting to become impossible, I know people who love riding bikes, they can't ride anymore. It's their knees. I know people who love skiing, they can't ski anymore. It's their knees or their back. Then there's work-related stuff. People who love the trades and can no longer do them. They can't weld because their hands don't work. They can't be in construction because they literally can't get in and out of their trucks. So they're handing off the businesses to their kids. Or this, a woman who loved horse riding and training people to ride horses and being a coach. She couldn't do it because she fell off a horse and was hemispherically paralyzed. Every single one of those conditions has been addressed successfully by Renew.Healthcare. They are, in my opinion, the world leaders in using stem cells responsibly, and they use manipulated stem cells. That is what this means. They get to reject 80% of the stem cells they look at because they only want the best 20%, because then they magnify those. They multiply them. In other words, they culture them to grow more. They control possession of these stem cells from point of birth until the injections, and they constantly test them. And again, only from umbilical cords. I've done this 3 times, and I will probably do it a 4th because I want to continue to do the things I love physically. Go check them out at renew.healthcare. They will tell you if they can help you. They will tell you how much it will cost. They will tell you how long it will take. And if you can afford it and you're ready to do it, they'll welcome you with open arms. If it's not something you can afford or you are not comfortable, they will thank you for your time and maybe even give you some suggestions for other ways to go. It's Renew, RENUE.healthcare. I feel very comfortable telling you I stand by these guys. I felt incredibly uncomfortable every time I tried to defend President Trump's purchase of this jet, or not purchase, but acceptance of it from Qatar, where there's the optics and the Mockingbird media, but the Mockingbird media can't hurt President Trump. They've completely lost the ability to change anyone's opinion about President Trump. They can't cause more people to hate him. That's topped out. So why am I worried? Because, as God said to me, he's a leader. We want to see godly behavior from a godly man. President Trump says God saved his life. President Trump says he worships Jesus. President Trump has spoken great things about how God made us as individuals, but what God expects. He just recognized the covenant, the original settlers of America, if you want to put it that way, the settlers, they created a covenant with God. He just recognized this in a proclamation. And this is what got to me. This comes from desiring God. Now it says what a pastor may be. I understand President Trump's not pastor in chief, but he's a leader. When we open up to the lists of elder qualifications in 1 Timothy 3:1 through 7 and Titus 1:6-9, we might be surprised to find first and foremost a summary trait that may sound unimpressively low bar to some ears and unattainably high to others: above reproach. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2, an overseer must be above reproach. Titus chapter 1, verses 5-7, this is why I left you in Crete, so that you might appoint elders in every town as I directed you. If anyone is above reproach, the husband of one wife, and his children are believers, not open to the charge of debauchery or insubordination. For an overseer as God's steward must be above reproach. Now, I don't contend to believe that a $400 airplane given to the Department of Defense is going to make President Trump give Qatar extra things. I don't know that to be the case, but I know it does not communicate being above reproach. And the other side of this, if you'd like to go back to the secular, there is the Statue of Liberty. That was gifted to the United States. It's pretty expensive and very important to us. And it belongs to everybody, and you can still go tour it. Like you can still go up in it unless they've stopped that. I still feel uneasy. I don't want our president to be this face of Christianity. I prefer that he be above reproach. If you're watching or listening to this on a platform where you can give feedback, I would love to hear what you think. So tell me what you think. You can do it in comment sections. You can do it at thetoddhermanshow.com. You can do it at social media. But tell me what you think. Did I get this one wrong? And did God get it wrong? Or maybe I got God wrong.